What we have here is a quick video showing how to post changes in the case to the thread of the Slack message. So first thing we have is a record triggered flow. And let's take a look at that in detail. What we have is a record triggered flow based on the case object. The record is created or updated. And then here in the conditions, this can be set customized to whatever you need. But we have an or condition because we want to update anytime the owner ID changes or the status changes. And so we make sure that the operator is set to is changed. And then we use the global constant variable here of true. So this is going to trigger anytime either the status changes or the owner ID changes. The rest of the start flow element is pretty straightforward. The last piece that's key here is that we include asynchronous runs because we're calling out to Slack whenever this runs. The next piece is we're going to get the linked conversation object. This may not be necessary if you have customized fields on that case that are populated with the channel ID and the message timestamp ID. If not, use the linked conversation, get the linked conversations, and we're going to set that central ID field, and we're going to set that equal to the record ID that's being triggered here, which in this case is the case ID field. Again, this is not necessary if these fields are populated on the case record itself. And just to be extra cautious here, we're looping through these to ensure that each of these messages are processed independently. The next piece we're going to do is we're going to set some variables because our Salesforce flow element requires those variables. Here are the variables that we're going to be setting: channel ID, thread ID, status, and the Slack and the owner ID. So again, we are going to set these using either the link of the conversations, or we're going to set them directly from the case record itself. Let's dive into the central Salesforce flow element. We're going to use those variables to populate a significant amount of fields here. First is the channel ID. So we're going to check this checkbox and pass in that variable of channel ID here, so we go to the correct channel. Then we're going to go ahead and send as a reply, and we're going to pass in that thread ID here. And that's the main message that's how we're going to determine which channel and which thread we're going to post to. The last piece is what we're going to send. And so this has a handful of merge fields and specific syntax that we can use, that we can pass through. The one key component that I want to mention here is the formatting if you want to @mention a particular person. So as long as you're getting in the Slack user ID, wherever that's stored, whether that's on the contact, the user, etc., if you use this syntax of caret @mention bracket exclamation point and then the variable, you can then @mention someone in Slack using that message, and that's just the Slack user ID posting there. And then you can pass through the status as well. Here are the formatting options. That link will show you how to format that message, italics, bold, strike through, etc. Additionally, you can pass in emojis. So that's how you post the status or any update from the case to the thread.